Met Robert Swan January of 2008. The company I worked for, Axo Nobel, was sending 12 people on the Leadership on the Edge program here in Antarctica, and I was one of the chosen 12 on the initial trip. And so we met, the group of 12 met Robert at our headquarters in Amsterdam, and what an excitement to meet him, to be chosen, and then to take the journey in 2012. On the journey, we started off from Ushuaia and went to King George Island in Bellingshausen. Is where the E-base was. Robert was actually on the E-base. He had been living there for several weeks, and that's where we arrived. We arrived there, and Robert and his team were standing on top of the E-base, and that was our greeting to meet Robert down here. It was a incredible first moment to walk into the E-base, because 2 weeks prior to walking into the E-base, while Robert was living there, I actually took a group of teachers, friends, students, and we Skyped Robert from Roanoke, Virginia, USA, which is where I live. So just to be able to communicate with Robert while he was down here, knowing that he was doing it on renewable energy, and then walking into the E-base there was a pretty special time. Our E-base has been through kind of a start-stop. The initial plan that we were going to do was rejected. Then we went a different direction and ended up with a train boxcar, a railroad boxcar. We're about 28 months into converting this boxcar into an E-base, and our opening day is going to be in June. June is a special time because that is the time when the summer camp starts, which is where this E-base USA Blue Ridge is at. It's a place called Apple Ridge Farm, fantastic 100-acre farm just outside of Roanoke in the Blue Ridge Mountains. And so in June, summer camp starts for June, July, and August, and so that's what we're going to do. We're going to open it when the kids are there. When you look at the 4 E-bases around the world, the first thing about building an E-base in the USA is something called permits and building inspectors. So just because you want to do something that's going to be great for the kids and an educational tool, you have regulations you have to follow. So making sure that we did everything compliant has certainly cost us some extra time, but at the end of the day, we're also going to be proud that we're going to have a compliant building. So just the fact that this boxcar is at the top of a mountain in the Blue Ridge Mountains, that was a challenge, getting a rail car up there. And then knowing that the closest electrical that's essentially true electrical with wires and so forth is about a mile away. So we have to build a structure here that's going to be completely off the grid, and know that whether it's summertime, we're going to keep it cool, and in the wintertime, we're going to keep it warm. And so that's certainly been a challenge as well. You can't do a project of this scale by yourself. You have to have the dream. You have to have the vision. You have to know what the plan is, and then it's all about telling the story. What you want to do, why you want to do it, who's it going to benefit. As soon as you do that, there are hundreds of people that are willing to help. So and when I mean help, I'm talking about people that are willing to give their time to help. People are willing to donate stuff so that volunteers can use it to help. It's just a matter of telling the story, letting them see it, feel it, touch it. They definitely want to help. So the getting help has not been hard at all. It's actually been very satisfactory. My 16-year-old daughter, she definitely is one that volunteers for many different things. She at least one evening a week she goes to the homeless shelter and helps serve food and so forth there. So she's always one that's been given her time and so forth. So when I started this project, it was always, what can I do? So during the week, she's always asking me, are we going to work at the E-Base this weekend, and who's going? And she loves being a part of it, and she's already told me that when we cut the ribbon, that she better have one of the pair of scissors to cut the ribbon. So and she will. Well, what we're actually doing is there's 4 E-Bases in the world right now. Obviously, the one down here in Bellingshausen. There's 2 in India, and then there's 1 in the USA. And the structures of the 4 are completely different, but how they became E-Bases are essentially the same. So what we're actually doing is drawing up a blueprint of what you need, about 12 or 15 key points of what you need to actually build an E-Base. But the first thing is you got to have the passion. You got to have the passion to do this, and then just go for it and get it done. We've had many obstacles, and several times there was a lot of questions. Do we keep going or not? And the satisfaction to keep going and knowing that this is something that's probably going to not just help hundreds and thousands, but probably 100,000 kids over a long period of time. So that's the gratifying piece of this is all about giving people the opportunity to see what is truly possible. I certainly didn't come down here 8 years ago with the sense that, hey, I'm going to leave here and build an E-Base. It's something, when I went back, it was, hey, I have to do something. This place gets in your heart, and when it does that, you know you have to do something special. I didn't know what it was going to be. I never dreamed that I was going to build an E-Base. It just happened. When I came down here last time, I didn't have a project. I didn't know what to expect. And with this place in my heart now, I knew I was going to bring another project down here. So my project, my next project leaving here is in Roanoke, Virginia. It's actually known as the Star City of the South. And that is because there's a 100-foot man-made star, 66-year-old star, sitting up on top of Mill Mountain overlooking the city. And so my project is to take that star and run that completely on renewable energy. So I'll be having to work with the local Roanoke government folks and so forth, and let's get that off the grid, since that is certainly the eye-catching symbol of our city. So it's going to be a challenge dealing with government, but I'm pretty confident we'll push through and make that project a success again. How did I choose it? Is living in Roanoke, you see the star every day, and every evening it's lit up. I mean, it is truly the symbol of that. So it was just seeing that and knowing that when you see something that bright that you can see for miles and miles away, you know that's burning some electricity. So the question is, how much is it burning, and why are taxpayers paying for that? So let's take the symbol of the city and let's run it on solar and wind, and again prove another point that something so symbolic can be run off the grid. So pretty exciting to do there. She gets in your heart. It's a place that to me, this place is all about your senses. You know, the whole touch, taste, feel, smell thing. It's an amazing place, and you just have to take the time and let her get in your heart. I'm sure a lot of people come down here and actually they're tourists and take a lot of pictures and so forth, but it's about taking the time and really seeing what she's about, and seeing how fragile she is, and on something so fragile, we've got to take care of her. I never thought I'd be here one time, yet alone a second time. So I'm truly blessed to feel to have this opportunity and so forth. So it's all about taking care of her, so the rest of us, or the rest of the world and so forth, doesn't have to pay the consequences if this place gets damaged. Though I will say that this E-Base has certainly taken up a lot of my golf time. So I have certainly put working on the E-base ahead of my golf game.